Monday Night Football last night, and the Philadelphia Eagles have now lost 3 in a row. They lost the Chargers 22-19 in overtime, and this is a team that everybody thought was unbeatable last year. Of course, they lost people in free agency, and there's been some drama when it comes to, the offense. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. Well, Jalen Hurts threw 4 interceptions in this game, and they wind up only still losing by 3 points, taking it to overtime. Justin Herbert, 139 yards. That's it passing. Omari and Hampton comes back. He gets 56 yards on the ground. A.J. Brown gets 100 yards receiving on 6 receptions. But the biggest takeaway here is that this Philadelphia Eagles team has now lost 3 in a row. This is not the same Eagles team as we saw last year.
No, it's not. And I was just taking a look at the standings here for the NFC East, and they're still on top of the Cowboys by 2 whole games, 8-5, 6-6. That's just really a testament to what this division is. And while the Eagles, aren't in the best spot right now, and we'll go over their schedule here in just in a second, they are still in a very decent position. Like, they can turn this around. They haven't lost any ground as far as making the playoffs or anything. They're not going to be a 1 seed probably by, I guess the Rams are 10-3, Seahawks are 10-3, so they've got a little bit of ground to make up in that department. But they'll get into the dance, I'm sure. And I guess I could be wrong, but you never want to count the Eagles entirely out.
No, for sure. And you look at the rest of their schedule, it's kind of easy. You got the Commanders, 2 games left. You only have 3 games left in the season. 2 of them are against the Commanders, and then in the middle of them, you have the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So that one's obviously going to be tough. Buffalo's trying to build themselves into being a playoff contender themselves. But assuming, and then, of course, you have 4 games. You got the Raiders still as well. So the Raiders, that's not a hard game whatsoever, although Pete Carroll might be coaching for his job. So take that for what you will. But you have to think that you can probably easily get 3 of the 4 wins easily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
11-6.
Split with the Commanders is like, that's a given. They could probably get both of those. And then it's really down to the Bills game.
Yeah, and with Jaden Daniels, I don't think Jaden Daniels on the Commanders should play another snap this season. So you're probably going against Marcus Mariota on both of those games for the Eagles. There looks like there's just a lot of unorganized play in relationships with the Eagles this year. We've seen it over and over again. Sirianni continues to talk about it. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts continues to talk about it. There's a tweet, like a viral thing that went out around the game yesterday. And Jalen Hurts, right before halftime, was struggling to find his helmet to get on the field for a snap before, I think it was 10 seconds. I think they were going to knee it. I don't think it was anything crazy, but he couldn't find his helmet. Saquon Barkley had to give him his helmet so they could go out there and finish the half. And, it's not something that obviously impacted the game, but that type of moment just shows how disorganized you are in the middle of the football game when you should be completely focused. And that's not a Jalen Hurts issue. That's obviously a lot of the support staff, but it sounds like it's just a core issue with Philadelphia this year. They're just not on the same page. And when you're looking at what they did last year, everybody talked about how amazing they were, how dominant they were against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. This doesn't even feel like the same hemisphere when it comes to this type of team that this team is this year.
It, to me, and I could be off base on this, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But to me, it feels like this season for the Eagles is more about driving the stake home on the tush push than it is anything else. Somehow, oddly enough, they're more concerned about proving their point with this one play than they are by winning games. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I guess if that's the hill you're going to die on, if you're Philly, I get it. It's kind of your play and everybody hates it. But as far as the season as a whole, yeah, it's like a classic Super Bowl hangover. They're just struggling against teams like the Bears and even the Giants. I guess it's a divisional foe, but that's not a team that this Eagles team last season would have struggled with, right? And this is just typical to me. The disorganization certainly carried over into the game too, which was, it's funny. I'm not gonna lie, that one play.
Oh yeah,
it was. Yeah, this Eagles team it's just not what it was last season.
This team is technically a game and a half ahead of the Cowboys because the Cowboys have that tie, so it gets kind of weird here. But when it's all said and done, of course, the Eagles have 8 wins, the Cowboys have 6, and that's what really is going to matter the most. When you look at the Cowboys schedule, their schedule's not very crazy to finish off the season either. They have the Vikings, the Chargers, the Commanders, and then the Giants. So what we saw from the Chargers in this game, they obviously look good. They're a playoff contender. And then we talked about the Eagles schedule, with the Bills being the only one on that schedule is kind of tough. You could probably make the argument that both teams could easily win 3 of the next 4 games handily. If you're the Cowboys, you are hoping that the Eagles continue to slide down here, split one with the Commanders, and lose to the Bills. And if the Cowboys win out, then you're talking about a potential Cowboys taking over the Eagles to win this NFC East. And the Eagles then, if the Eagles only take 2 of the next 4 and the Cowboys win out, the Eagles are not in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Right now it's ideal.
Insane. Absolutely insane. What do you take from this from a guy like Saquon Barkley? Is this like a Madden curse thing? I mean, he hasn't had the best season. Obviously, he had a pretty decent night last night. He got a nice large touchdown, 52-yarder. He was 122 yards rushing on the ground. I don't know. Do you buy that Madden curse thing? Is this a team effort when it comes to Madden curses?
I think, I personally buy into the Madden curse a little bit. My thing with Saquon is that he's still in a very good spot. Like, this Eagles team is still a great spot for him, even if it hasn't been the best season of all time. We know what he did at New York, right? Like, I think he's a very, very talented back. He does probably benefit a lot from what the Eagles' offensive line is. This isn't a situation where I would say it's like, well, I'm ready to move on. Like, you won your ring. You can get a little comfortable here. You can take a year off. It's not the end of the world, because you're still in probably one of the best spots as that running back with that offensive line. If you could pick anywhere for Saquon else to be, where would you say he goes? Because I think this is the best spot for him.
Yeah, I think he should finish his career in Philly. Perfectly, to be honest with you, I think it fits perfectly. But when you look about what happened last year, obviously the 2,005 yards. I mean, we all expected at least some sort of regression. We didn't expect him to have another 2,000-yard season. But the fact that he hasn't yet to reach 1,000 yards, he's 12th in the NFL right now at 862. Only has 218 carries on the season. The biggest thing I take from here compared to last year is he averaged almost 6 yards a carry. He's averaging only 4 yards, like even. So he's almost a whole 2 yards behind when it comes to carries. That's a lot of things pointing at the Eagles' offensive line. There's some issues there. I saw Troy Aikman was pointing at something about Jason Kelsey being on the sideline and said the Eagles should call him to come back. 1, he's 40 pounds lighter. And 2, we already saw this with Frank Ragnow with the Detroit Lions. It's already too late for that. That was just something for another narrative, but no way should they do that. I think he's very happy with his garage beer.
Yeah, I think he's totally good with being in the position we're in with the mics and having fun talking with his brother. I mean, I would love to see him come back, but I don't think it'd be the same level of production.
Oh, absolutely not.